Hello, Professor and class. This is Alberto on here, and today I'm gonna talk about my writing technique called Remember the Picture. So, based on the assignment provided, I'm gonna talk today about different aspects. For instance, I will talk about the writing goals and its approach. I'm gonna talk about the challenges that the students may face while during this activity. And I talk also about the adaptation to the approaches learned, the adaptation to different groups and levels, and of course, the adaptation to online teaching strategies. So, what is this activity about? Remember that the activity is called Remember the Picture. So, this activity generates interesting sentences and promotes competitive spirit among the students. The levels that I recommend this activity for are from intermediate to advanced level. The aim or objective of this activity is to promote writing and increasing vocabulary. And the materials that you can use for this activity is an interesting picture that you can find in any book or any regalia, and also a timer. Now, to prepare this activity, you first need to set the class. So what you need to do first is to divide the class in groups of 5 students each. This can be um, This can be related among the amount of students that you can have in the classroom. This can differ. Once you have this class, they can add themselves a name, so they can name themselves. After you prepare the class, you need to provide instructions. The first instruction is that the teacher will show a picture of this interesting picture for a few seconds to the class. Later on, each group will generate as many sentences as possible based on the picture they just saw. And one recorder will go to the board to write all the sentences that each group has produced. Now, for error correction in this activity, what the teacher does is that the teacher will assign each group to a different recorder. Now, the group has to spot incorrect sentences and then proceeds to erase them. And finally, the group with most correct sentences becomes the winner of the activity. Now, some students may face different challenges while doing this activity. For example, some students cannot be clear about the grammatical rule they're working with. They can encounter problems with the spelling. Remember that this is a challenge, so they not only have to be focused on grammar, but also on the spelling part, which leads to also the lack of vocabulary. Also, the time limit. This can vary. The teacher can set, but the activity suggests that is around 5 minutes. Also, due to a time limit and the use of a timer, this can increase also the levels of anxiety and also the levels of frustration from the students. Now, what is the adaptation of the approaches that I learned? I suggest two different approaches here. The first approach that I suggest is a grammar-based approach because it provides the learners with a systematic and explicit instruction of grammar. Also, by applying this activity with using this approach, I promote also that the use of variety of authentic material, as I mentioned before, that will help incorporating the development of information, the media, and also literacy skills. I also suggest to have a vocabulary approach because acquiring vocabulary is, of course, more than just looking for words in the dictionary or memorizing a list of words. It involves also the activation of background knowledge and the ability to use the vocabulary words in context. Even better if we are doing a group work. Now, how can I adapt this to my online teaching setting? I can use different tools. And the tools that I recommend, and I have already used them, is Jamboard and Padlet. I use them constantly because it's a real-time application. Students can work in real time and I can monitor the progress. At the same time, I can make necessary corrections and provide all the feedback that I need all in one tool. So you can select either one. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for watching this video.